to your mother immediately after you damaged the painting and had taken responsibility, you would not now have this blemish on your reputation. Following the new rules, I always released the tennis ball with a snap of the wrist that gave it the velocity to roll the length of the hall. Trixie thundered after the ball, either snaring it near the end of its journey or snatching it out of the air if it ricocheted off the leg of a console and took flight. She returned it to me with dispatch, and at once I fired it off again. After 20 minutes, her flanks heaved, her tongue lolled, and though she still considered the tennis ball to be a priceless treasure, she was prepared to entrust it to me for a while. Lying on the floor, facing each other, Trixie panted, and I stroked her luxurious golden coat as she caught her breath. From the week she came into our lives, Trixie and I spent some time most days lying on the floor together. I found it relaxing for the obvious reason that a cuddle with a loving dog is always calming. I also found it strange, because she would stare into my eyes as long as I wanted to meet hers, 10 minutes, 20, 30, and she would rarely be the first to look away. These sessions were meditation, but also communication, though I can't explain what she communicated other than love. I can say that I frequently saw in her eyes a yearning to make herself understood in a complex way that only speech could facilitate. Staring into Trixie's eyes, I was sometimes silent, but at other times talked to her about my day, my problems, my hopes, whatever came into my head. Those who love dogs know well this kind of rap. The dog does not react and is not expected to react to any of this, but listens and wonders. Dogs swim through a sea of human speech, listening attentively for words they recognize, patiently striving to interpret what we say, although most of it is and always will be incomprehensible to them. No human being would have such patience. Counting the many commands she had been taught when in training to be an assistance dog and all that she had learned on her own, cookie, chicken, walk, duck, step stool, oil, painting, restoration, electromagnetism. Her vocabulary was at least 100 words. It would more than double over the years. This got me thinking. The recognition that words have meaning, the desire to remember them, the intention to act on those that are understood. Does all of this lead to the conclusion that the dog also yearns to speak? On that January night, because Trixie had been an undiluted joy during the previous 4 months and had already been a force for positive change in me, I said, "You're not just a dog. You can't fool me. I know what you really are." As if in response, she raised her head, eased back slightly, and regarded me with what might have been concern. Golden retrievers have versatile brow muscles that allow them a wide range of facial expressions. She never before responded to me in this fashion, and I was amused to interpret her look as meaning, "Uh-oh, somehow I've blown my cover." "You're really an angel," I continued. To my surprise, she scrambled to her feet as if in alarm, ran down the hall, turned, and stared back at me. Muscles tensed, legs spread for maximum balance, head lifted, ears raised as much as a golden can raise them, she seemed to be waiting for what I might say next. I'm seldom speechless. Trixie's behavior, which seemed to be a reaction to my words, as if she understood every one of them, raised the fine hairs on the nape of my neck and left me mute. Intrigued, I got to my knees, wondering what she would do next, but she continued to watch me intently when I rose to my feet. For a minute or two we studied each other from a distance of 20 feet, as though we both expected something of consequence to happen. Her tail did not wag. It wasn't lowered as it would have been if she had been the least fearful. It was a perfect plume, as still as if she had stepped outside of time, where nothing could move her or even one hair upon her, nothing except her own will. "Trixie?" I finally asked, and when I spoke she retreated another 10 or 15 feet and turned again to face me in the same expectant stance as before. This was not a dog who wanted solitude or even distance. The closer she could be to us, the happier she appeared. When I was writing, she would